I
They're in
found
so
out
much-
a little bit about how that worked. I searched for an explanation of what it did. Does anyone know what it does?
I do not.
No idea.
It's so if I understand right, all these cars have software. The software in these cars is lying to the emissions tester and telling them that yeah, I'm all good, but in fact they're not.
How would you do that? Aren't they detecting like actual carbon monoxide or whatever is spewed out?
They
I-
are.
I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, I kept wondering, so I had to search all over for it. Apparently, what they do is when the car idles, it is in a special like emissions passing mode, so that when they test it, it runs extra clean. But so that the car can have extra power, it stops doing that and just becomes like a dirty diesel engine. So it's a dirty diesel engine pretty much all the time, except when it's not running, which it becomes a clean diesel engine.
Well, it's not I don't think it's dirty in comparison to any of the other diesel engines out there, right? It's just they're trying to get more power out of it, so they're just sticking more fucking diesel in there. They're
Right,
just, they're running it at an inefficient rate. It's not getting the same gas mileage either. It's not just emissions. The gas mileage standards are way off as well.
I would guess, based on what little I know about diesel engines, you're right. You punch too much diesel and you get more power, but it doesn't. The unburnt stuff goes out the back, and it's bad. I think that's what you're referring to. But that essentially what it is it's only clean running at idle, and then it's just like overfed all the other
that's
times.
Brilliant. They're so fucked. What I want to know is what happens to, let's say that I live in California, I own one of these vehicles now, and guess what? Tomorrow is the day I have to redo my emissions. What happens when I go down there?
You pass. Good for you.
Like I don't think that's the case. Like
that's what I worry too. That suddenly your car is almost like a recall or something. Like you're
So then what happens between me, the car owner, and the VW? Like what happens?
Action lawsuit.
Like is it? It won't require that. I'm hoping they'll step up.
Do they literally just give the owners of these cars a pass until the cars are off the road?
No.
Okay, if they don't do that, then someone's really fucked. Either Volkswagen's really fucked, and they have. You know what? So Volkswagen should be able to fix this with software, right? Just stop running dirty, and now you have a car that's not as powerful as you bought. As you thought it was when you bought it, but at least you can pass emissions. And maybe.
What if they weren't made to actually be able to pass emissions after you've driven a certain number of miles? What if a guy's got 95,000 miles in his Passat, and he thinks it's been passing the last 60,000 miles, and it just simply can't? When I was getting my car tested like 4 years ago, I had to go to like 3 different places and do a whole bunch of shit. They were like, honestly, just drive around at 50 miles an hour for 20 minutes in this downpour of rain and then come back. And so I was just sitting there grumbling and angry, like, this is fucking ridiculous. Chrysler, you son of a bitch. I can't just pass this. And it's like, if that hadn't passed and I couldn't have gotten my license plate renewed, like, I would have been fucked. Like, not through no fault of my own. I took care of the car. It's just...
How old was it?
This was 2012, so it was 4 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bought a Chrysler product. You kind of stepped on that one yourself.
I kind of like it. Yeah,
Wings.
I'm kind of over it now.
Can we do a little bit of truck talk? I feel like that's a good segue. Ugh. Here's the deal, Wings. I really, really like the Rams. And I recognize that sometimes their transmissions are not as reliable. I recognize
they got the 8-speed now.
And that's supposed to be better. They have the Ram box, which maybe not everybody would love, but I love that thing. You're
talking about the little built-in tailgate thing, where you opened up the side of the bed and.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, if you look in the back of a pickup truck bed, there's 2 lumps in it where the rear tires would be. So what they do. And then, like, to the front and rear of those lumps is really not valuable space because the plywood fits in between it, but on top of it, it's all shit. Unless you're carrying gravel or something. So what Ram did is they made the sides of the pickup bed really thick, and then they open up. They're like little trunks on either side. And to me, it's like, oh, if I had little trunks on the side of my bed, I'd carry just as much, because I can't put wood in there. I can't do all sorts of things. If I had little trunks, I could put my tools in there, my jumper cables, all those things, and I wouldn't need a toolbox because there's no trunk in a pickup truck. You got to have the toolbox to be a trunk. At least I do. So I could have the Ram box, and only Ram has that as far as I know. There are suspensions, like even in the half-ton truck, it can go up and down by 2 inches. Now I drive like an idiot a lot, over curbs and over the swales, and
They also have springs in the back.
yeah. So as part of that air suspension and the independent rear and all that fun stuff, it's not an independent rear, but it has coil springs as opposed to leaf springs, which are better. Ram has always pushed the envelope in terms of advancing the suspension, and the other guys tend to follow.
Well, actually, that's kind of subjective. Coil springs versus leaf springs. Like, for example, like if you have a Dodge truck, there's certain weight. You have certain weight limitations you can't do with a Dodge truck. Like you can't
Unless you get the airbags, at which point that's just solved, right?
right,
The coil and
right,
they add the airbags.
Like a standard, like you can do a third wheel trailer on a standard like half ton truck with Dodge right out the gate.
You need the airbags. So
you need the airbag.
It just seems like the Ram is better in every way except reputation, and I wonder, like,
Well, that's because of the companies. Like, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. You want my seal of approval, and here's how I'm gonna give it to you. Ram is now owned by Fiat,
I know.
and like they got two companies on them, but the majority holder is Fiat. And most of the Ram trucks you see with really bad reputation is actually owned by Daimler Chrysler and sometimes Mercedes, which they didn't have a very good paint department in the late 90s. Which kind of carried over to the early 2000s, and they have very, very, very shoddy dashwork. They use a very cheap plastic, and they never test well. Like any Ram truck never tests very well. The only Ram truck that ever tests well is one with a Cummins engine in it,
What do
and
you
that's
mean
because
test
their power,
well? Are you talking about the power?
like power, traction, 4-wheel drive system, like truck shootouts kind of things, where they bring all the trucks together and they test them. Rams never test well. But for an everyday driver, somebody that might not be using their truck to haul wood or pull a trailer, they're taking like their kid to school, they won't notice these kind of things. How many times you're driving up a slope with ice on it while, it hardly ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
So they never test well, and they have terrible power to weight ratios, but they're fucking luxurious as all hell now. Like
They
the
are.
interior of a Dodge Ram, it's got me looking at it like maybe I should get a Dodge.
Their interiors lead the class, their suspensions lead the class, and then the Ram box, probably a lot of people don't value it as much as me, but to me that's a huge advantage they have over the other trucks. And I just think, why not that one?
I don't know about their Pentastar. Like I think that's what their transmissions are called now, the Pentastars. Like I've never actually ridden one, but I had my Ford truck had a 6-speed transmission, and I loved it to death. And 2 extra gears would only be better.
Yeah.
Like, because like I don't know what the fuel economy is on them in now anyway, but like I don't know what Fiat produces. Like they're
neither.
obviously a successful company. I don't know how those trucks are going to hold up in the long run. The problem with Daimler Chrysler is their interior fell apart. They put really small brakes on them, and they were just a cut rate truck trying to make a profit.
First of all,
loving it.
if you're international, let us know what you think about Fiat, because you may have a lot more experience with them than we do.
Fiat's amazing.
Look, like you can't take a Ram truck built today and compare it to a Ram truck built in 2000 because 2 different companies made it. It just has the same name.
Yep. And
So they're untested. So you're in blind waters.
that's a tricky thing. But yeah, the Rams look amazing to me. But I switch my allegiance all the time. I go from Ford to Ram. So Fords look really cool. They've got the aluminum bodies. They're tech leading.
I don't like the new F-150's body.
I like it a lot. But one of the challenges I have, like the EcoBoost scares me. I know people, it's fairly new, right? But
it's kind of fairly new. It's a fairly new system to put it with the twin turbo setup like they have. But you got to understand, like Volvo, which is the company they're based in EcoBoost off, because when Ford bought Volvo has been making big diesel trucks with turbos their entire life, and those diesel trucks go millions of miles.
But you see clapped out Chevy Silverados that are 22 years old being driven by landscape companies all the time. Do you think they'll be clapped out Ford F-150 aluminum twin turbos 18 years from now?
Those aluminum ones are, a buddy of mine has one, and he got some damage on it. It is so much more expensive to get that fixed.
It's a lot harder to work with aluminum in auto body too. Because but I don't know. Like
I don't fix
that's the question I have when I bought the black truck. It's like, how long is this twin turbo thing going to last, and how much do they cost to fucking fix? Like, what happens when they start taking these parts off back order? Like when this truck is 10 years old and they no longer have this set of turbos for this type of engine in stock normally.
And then it's like power of the V8. yet fuel economy of a 6. No,
It doesn't give you that.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's the most fuel-consuming 6 you'll find because they just stuck turbos on it. They shove more gas and more in there and more air in there faster than you ever could before. And it's basically the fuel economy of an 8 with the power of an 8.
Yeah, because like for example, my truck Christine, she gets about 15 miles to the gallon, combined city and highway.
I like her name. Carry on.
My Ford was Bethany, and she got about 16 and a half.
Would you help me name my truck? She's 12 years old. She doesn't have a name yet.
Gretchen.
Victim 1.
Gretchen's not bad.
Yeah, an old lady name. Gretchen or
Hannah.
Wanda. Something that people were only named in like 1922.
Gretchen. Gretchen's not bad. It's sticking with me. Anyway.
Gretchen's not bad.
But I only noticed like a mile per hour, like a mile difference in gas quality. It's like, I think I'd rather have the straight. Majority of the day, we'd rather have the standard straight broad push V8 engine over the twin turbo V6. Even though twin turbo V6 has got a lot more power, it's a lot more fun to drive. The dependability is a question there.
Yeah. I don't know.
It also depends on the rear end you get too, but you know this kind of stuff. These are questions the truck guy asks.
Yeah,
Because Dodge usually comes with really I think Dodge used to come standard with 392. Like seriously, because I know they used to push the Hemi back in 2004. They put a 392 rear end in them, but they had terrible power to weight ratio.
Oh, I wonder if that's still true. Should we do a new topic?
I would like to do another game.
He doesn't
sorry.
have games for days.
I'm a truck guy.
Unless you've got a good topic. I mean, truck talk, man, that went...
Well, you guys could chime in. Kyle has a truck.
We could do a prank phone call.
Kyle, how's that truck you got holding up?
Apparently, those Chevrolets have this transmission issue because there's some magnesium construction in the transfer case, and there's also some vibration that's there because of a design flaw. So magnesium vibrates against steel or something until it wears away, and then you get these little pinholes in the aluminum case, and only under pressure does it leak fluid. And so you don't get any drip in your yard. And, I mean, who checks the transmission fluid? So you end up with a dry transmission, dry transfer case in like a week out of nowhere, and it grinds itself to death. And I've went through 2 transmissions, and I'm about to buy my 3rd. And this time I'm getting a special custom-made transfer case. So
sometimes it might be time just to trade the old girl in.
She's not that old. How old is she?
2008. That one is.
She's just a baby.
Like 50,000, like 50,000 miles.
My truck's got. Matter of fact, let me tell you the story. I know before we get off truck talk.
Mm-hmm.
My oil light came on today.
Tell me, man. Preach it.
Shit. And I was amazed because the last time I changed my oil was January 18th when I put my new tires on. Like I have gone nowhere this year.
I got a story. So today I had new gravel delivered for my private driveway, one of my driveways. And I had to use my tractor to spread the gravel. Well, over the last couple of weeks, I've been having this tricky issue where I turn the key and it doesn't start. Tractor has all kinds of things you got to do right. It's got to be in neutral. You can't have the PTO shaft on, this and that, for it to start. So I'd wiggle those different things, thinking that was my problem, and it would eventually start. So I don't know if it was the extra attempts or if it was the things I was wiggling, and I'm fucked because today it won't start at all. As a quick side note, the gravel has all this dirt that when it gets wet is supposed to like firm up. It's crushed granite and like become almost a concrete bed. And I didn't want it in its lumpy, unspread, shitty condition. It's raining out right now to like solidify like that. I wanted to get it right and then have it rain. It's going to be heavy rain all day tomorrow. So I really wanted to have it fixed today. Anyway, we go through our diagnosis. I asked for help online. They're no use. I call a mechanic from the dealership. He was of no use. And Chiz and I just go out there and start troubleshooting it. I track it to the relay, and this is the last thing that's successfully, like, it's clicking and stuff. You can put your thumb on it and see that the relay's activating, but whatever. And I'm like, well, a relay's like $6, so I'll get a new one and see if that fixes it. And as we're headed back into the stable, I explained to Chiz, my man card's kind of on the line here with this fix, right? You know that scene in The Grinch That Stole Christmas where the heart measuring device that they used, the heart grows and grows and grows until the device fractures and is ruined? That is what would happen to a penis measuring device if this fucking fixes my tractor, right? And so I go and I switch it and whatever, and we turn the key and it starts. And that's when I run into trouble. My knees are buckling and I'm walking around like a fucking ape. Like, oh my God, why did this happen? Oh no, why did I have a bad penis? I want my old one back. Anyway, we fixed the fucking tractor. Penis grew 10 sizes. The measuring device was shattered. And
I think we need to reevaluate what skilled labor's called. Like if one of the tractor guys came out and didn't do a relay check.
They wouldn't come.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
you
he
gotta
was
be
on the
doing
phone.
relay checks. I mean,
he was on the phone, and I asked him. He didn't really point me that
he came
way.
out and actually worked on it. And
No,
then
I called him, and I wanted to know how much a service call costs, and this and that, and it just happened to have a 1,000-pound counterweight on the back, so it was like a pain in the ass to move it. And anyway, I tracked it down to the first thing I tried, fixed it, and I felt very good. $6 fixed my tractor. So, and my penis is now giant. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing.
It was not the starter.
What did you use to spread the gravel?
I have a land grader.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
I feel like
You have hydraulic control of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have both hydraulic top link, and of course the 3-point thing is hydraulic. So,
Cool.
shit.
I was thinking, I was like, I hope he's not like putting it in the bucket a scoop at a time and like shaking the bucket, spilling it out, and dragging the bucket to make it smooth. Like, definitely needs some kind of a scrape blade.
Yeah, a scrape blade would have worked too. I think people like the land grader type thing. I want to show people what it looks like, but there's not a good image. See, I bet a lot of people just want a new topic, but there will be a third out there that say, all right, what does a land grader look like?
a third of people don't want us to move on because they want to know what a land
I'm all
grader is.
for tractor and truck talk, but let's not be hyperbolic with our numbers here.
Really?
A
All right.
third.
So
I'm
basically,
pretty sure most of the people know how to use Google.
this. Actually, this one's even more like mine. It's like this. You drag it behind your tractor, and the dirt goes over those two blades, and as it gets sort of evenly distributed behind it. So it takes less talent to use than a lot of the alternatives. So I can show you guys if you're curious. That's what it looks like. You drag it on your gravel road, pulls up the gravel, distributes it in a nice thing, and I did a real good job. My wife was impressed.